Imagine completely transforming your financial situation in just 30 days. Wow. Sounds crazy, right? Yeah. But that's the kind of power the law of assumption claims to have. Right. And today we're going to dive deep into what that actually means, especially when it comes to manifesting wealth. Yeah, a lot of people hear law of assumption and immediately think it's just wishful thinking, right? But there's actually a fascinating history of philosophy behind it. So let's unpack that. We've got a stack of Neville Goddard's teachings here, and he was a pretty prominent voice in the 20th century promoting this whole idea. Yeah. Where did this law of assumption even come from? It has roots in mystical and metaphysical traditions. Okay, but Goddard was really drawing on a specific interpretation of the Bible. Interesting. He saw it as a guide to inner transformation. Okay, almost like an allegory for understanding the power of your own consciousness. So how does believing something to be true actually make it manifest in your life, right? Especially when we're talking about something as tangible as money. Well, the core principle of the law of assumption is that your reality is a reflection of your inner consciousness. It's not that you're magically conjuring money out of thin air, right? But rather that your beliefs about yourself and your relationship with money are what shape your financial reality. Okay. If you fundamentally believe you are abundant, that belief will manifest in your experiences. That's where things start to get a little mind-ending. Yeah. So walk me through. Sure. How would someone actually apply the law of assumption to attract more money? Well, Goddard outlined specific steps, and the first one is about clarity. You have to define exactly what you desire. It's not enough to just say I want more money. You have to be crystal clear on the amount or the specific financial goal you want to achieve. Got it? So no vague wishing allowed. You have to set a very specific target. Yes. Then what? This is where things get interesting, and probably where people start to raise their eyebrows. The next step is about entering what Goddard called the feeling state, okay, which is basically vividly imagining and feeling as if your financial goal is already achieved. I can see how that might feel a little strange at first. Yeah. How can simply feeling something make it real, right? Do you have any examples that might help illustrate this? Sure. Let's say you want to buy your dream home. Okay. Instead of just thinking about it as a future possibility, imagine walking into that home. Yeah, running your hand along the countertop, feeling the joy of ownership as if it's already yours. Or if you have a specific amount of money you want to manifest, visualize holding a check for that amount, feeling the gratitude and relief as if it's already in your bank account. Okay, so it's about creating a strong mental and emotional experience around that desire. But what happens when reality kicks in? You know, those pesky bills keep coming, and that dream house still feels far away. That's where the third step, persistence and faith, comes in. Goddard stressed that you have to consistently maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even when your external circumstances seem to contradict it. It's about retraining your mind to see and experience things differently. But wouldn't that be exhausting, constantly trying to force yourself to feel a certain way, right? Did Goddard address that? He actually had a concept for that called the Sabbath, which isn't about a day of rest in the traditional sense, but a period of mental rest after you've consciously impressed your desired state upon your subconscious. Oh, it's almost like giving your mind a break from actively trying to manifest, trusting that the seed has been planted. That makes sense. Letting go of the struggle and allowing things to unfold. Yeah. But let's be honest, yeah, this whole law of assumption can seem pretty far out there for a lot of people. Absolutely. And Goddard acknowledged that. Yeah. You have to remember he himself was a very rational, logical thinker initially, and he had his own doubts when he first encountered this idea that reality is a projection of consciousness. One of the things that seems to have really shifted his perspective was this concept of revision, which is basically mentally revising past events to align with your desired outcomes. That's wild. You're telling me I can change the past, right? But how does that actually work in practice, especially when we're talking about finances? Think of it this way. If you're holding on to past financial setbacks, regrets, or beliefs about lack, those are going to continue to influence your current financial reality. But if you can go back and mentally reframe those experiences, seeing them as opportunities for growth or even necessary steps on your path to abundance, it shifts the energy around your finances. So instead of dwelling on that time, I made a bad investment, right? Or racked up credit card debt, I should try to see it as a learning experience that ultimately led me to a better understanding of money. Exactly. It's about changing the narrative, okay, shifting the emotional charge around those past events so they no longer hold you back. Got it. Goddard believed that if you could convince yourself that the past was different, the present would reflect that change. Interesting. He shared stories in his lectures about people who had successfully used this technique to manifest all sorts of things, including financial abundance. Okay, I'm starting to see how powerful this could be. Yeah, but I have to ask, wouldn't this be a slippery slope, right? Could someone use the law of assumption to manipulate others, right? Or try to control situations that are outside of their control? That's a valid concern. Yeah. And Goddard himself was very clear about the ethical implications of the law of assumption. Okay, he cautioned against using it to try to influence or manipulate others. The focus should always be on your own personal transformation and aligning with your own highest good. So it's about taking responsibility for your own reality. Yes, not trying to impose your will on others, right? That makes sense. But let's get back to the practicalities here. Sure. Let's say someone is listening to this. Yeah, maybe they're struggling to make ends meet, okay, feeling overwhelmed by debt or just wanting to create a more secure financial future, right? Can anyone really manifest money using the law of assumption? Goddard believed that we all have this innate power to shape our reality, including our financial reality. He argued that our current financial situation is often a reflection of our subconscious beliefs about money and ourselves. So if someone is struggling financially, does that mean they're doing something wrong with the law of assumption? Not necessarily. It's more about recognizing that we often carry limiting beliefs about ourselves or about money that can manifest as lack or struggle. You might consciously desire wealth and abundance. But if you have underlying beliefs about not being worthy or deserving, those beliefs can sabotage your efforts. Okay, that makes sense. But how do you change those deep-seated beliefs? Is it just a matter of positive thinking? Positive thinking can be helpful, but Goddard went deeper than that. He talked about the power of imagination, calling it the true Christ within the force that can transform lives. And I know that language might sound religious. But he was really talking about tapping into our own inherent creative power to reshape our reality. So it's about more than just daydreaming or wishful thinking, right? It's about harnessing the power of imagination as a creative force. Exactly. Goddard believed that imagination is not just some frivolous mental activity. Yeah, but a powerful tool for shaping our reality. He argued that what we can conceive in our minds, we can create in our lives. So for someone who is ready to give this a shot, how do they actually begin to apply the law of assumption to their financial situation? We talked about defining the desire and cultivating the feeling state, but is there more to it? It's really about consistently embodying the feeling of already having what you want. If you want to attract a specific amount of money, for example, imagine checking your bank balance and seeing that amount there. Feel the gratitude, the relief, the joy. Boy, as if it's already yours. So even if my current bank balance doesn't reflect that amount, right, I should act as if it does. Exactly. You're shifting your internal state to match the reality you want to create. Okay. And remember, life is going to throw curveballs, right? Unexpected expenses pop up. Things don't always go as planned. Yeah, but that doesn't mean the law of assumption isn't working. It just means you might need to get creative with how you apply it. What do you mean by that? How can you apply the law of assumption when things are going wrong? Remember that concept of revision. It's not just about rewriting the past, but also about reshaping your present experience. Let's say you get hit with an unexpected bill that throws off your budget. Yeah. Instead of reacting with fear and worry, okay, try mentally revising the situation. Gotcha. Imagine receiving a surprise bonus or refund that covers the expense. Feel the relief and gratitude as if it's already happened. So even when things seem to be going against my desired financial reality, yeah, I can use my imagination to shift the energy and align with a more abundant outcome. Exactly. It's about recognizing that you have more power than you might realize. Okay, Goddard taught that you are not a victim of circumstance, but a creator of your own reality. Got it. And while he didn't share a lot of personal anecdotes about manifesting money himself, okay, he did tell stories about individuals who had overcome financial hardships, achieved career success, and really transformed their lives using these principles. It sounds like he was more focused on empowering others to discover their own power than boasting about his own successes. Absolutely. He saw himself as a teacher, guiding others to unlock their own potential. And he believed that this power wasn't limited to finances, right? The law of assumption could be applied to any area of life where you wanted to see transformation. So whether you're focused on improving your relationships, your health, your career, or any other aspect of your life, right? The same principles apply. Exactly. It's about becoming the conscious architect of your own life, aligning your inner world with the outer world you want to experience. This is so inspiring. Yeah. But I know some people might still be struggling with doubt, right? What would you say to someone who's listening to this feeling skeptical about whether they can truly change their reality? Doubt is completely natural. Yeah. Remember, even Goddard started out as a skeptic. Okay, he encouraged people to test these principles for themselves, not just take his word for it. So it's not about blind faith, right? It's about experimentation and experiencing the power firsthand. Exactly. It's an invitation to step into your own power and create the life you truly desire, right? It's about recognizing that you have more agency than you often give yourself credit for. It really is about taking ownership of your reality. Yeah, and recognizing the power you have to shape it. That's the essence of what Goddard was trying to convey. Yeah. He wanted people to awaken to their inherent creative power, right? To see themselves not as victims of circumstance, but as conscious creators of their own experience. And that's not limited to just material wealth, right? Yeah. This applies to all areas of life. Absolutely. The law of assumption is about aligning your inner world with your desired outer world, whether that's finances, relationships, health, career, or anything else. Yeah. It all starts with recognizing that your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings are the building blocks of your reality. So it's not just about thinking positive thoughts, right? It's about cultivating a deeper knowing. Yes, almost a feeling of certainty. That what you desire is already yours. You got it. It's about moving from a state of wanting to a state of being. And that's where the power of imagination comes in, right? Goddard often used the analogy of a seed. You plant the seed of your desire in the fertile ground of your subconscious mind, and then you nurture it with faith and feeling. He also emphasized the importance of persistence. Yes, just like a seed needs time to germinate and grow. Your desires might take time to manifest in your physical reality, okay? It's not a quick fix or a magic formula, right? It's a process of inner transformation that ultimately reflects in your outer world. So much of this comes down to shifting your perspective. Yeah, and really understanding the power of your own mind. It's about aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings with the reality you want to experience, right? Almost becoming the person who already has what you desire. Exactly. And when you can inhabit that state, when you can truly embody the feeling of having what you want, the outer world will inevitably reflect that inner shift. This has been an incredible deep dive. It has. It feels like we've barely scratched the surface of Neville Goddard's teachings. Yeah, there's so much more to explore. Do you have any final takeaways for our listener? You have the power to change your reality, okay? It starts with changing your inner world, your beliefs, your feelings, your self-concept, right? As Goddard said, Imagination is the true Christ within. Yeah, the power that can transform your life. Powerful stuff. Dare to dream big, cultivate the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and trust in the creative power that resides within you. On that note, I want to encourage you to explore Neville Goddard's work further. Yes, his books and lectures offer a wealth of insights and practical techniques for applying the law of assumption. Absolutely. And be sure to tune in to future deep dives as we continue to explore fascinating topics that can help you unlock your full potential and create a life you truly love.